And we are live. We are live on a Tuesday evening. How's everybody doing tonight? There we go. Something's acting up a little bit here. What? There you are. Okay.
Donna.
Donna's here from North Carolina. Hi, Donna. Good to see you. Yeah, the internet has been acting up a little bit today. But hopefully it won't affect us because we've got a lot of fun things to do tonight.
Mm.
And there's Linda, my Michigander buddy, and Linda, my friend from Urbana, New York. I don't know, Linda, if you guys are got the heavy smoke or not, but we sure do today. And Kathy's here from Long Island. Welcome, Kathy. Lisa, Sugar Land, Texas. Wanda Rule from across town. Hello, my friend. And Debbie from a very sunny, very hot Glendale, Arizona. I am so sorry. Oh, Kay's here from a very hot Florida. It looks like the East Coast and West Coast and Midwest and all of the U.S. is hot today. Linda said they sure have the smoke. Yeah, we've got it bad up here too. Although they're telling us a cool front is going to come through and push it out. Oh, Deb, 113, no problem. It's a dry heat, right? Oh, Rita, good morning from Northern Victoria, Australia. And I saw that New South Wales got snow. I hope it isn't where you are, but it is winter. But just have a little bit of winter left. Hi, Ronnie, good to see you from northeastern Arizona. So happy to have you here always. So let's take a look. We're kind of starting on something new here. We are starting. I'm going to pull that back, push that around. We are going to do 2 circles on quilts spinning wheels tonight. Okay. Now, I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I struggle with spinning wheels. Always have. I don't know why, but I think I figured out a way to make it a little easier on me. At least enough so that I'm not throwing things that can across the table, right? Oh, and Monica's here from Durand, Illinois. Hi, Monica Lee. So good to see you from Spencerville. And Rena is here from Eric Smith, Illinois. Joey says she's glad she got notification when she was getting ready to do the Spin Effect Sage. Oh, Carla from Oklahoma City, and spent the day with her husband on the Harley. What a great day. That would be a fun day. And Maureen is here from Kansas, Charlene from Colorado, and Evelyn, hi from Indiana. Yeah. And Debbie says she's looking forward to seeing this. It just looks odd. And I think until you start seeing how it goes on, yeah, it might come across as odd, but it really is pretty. Mary Lou, hi from Western New York, my husband's old stomping grounds. Okay, so we are going to use these on a pin. So I went ahead and made 16 reference lines. You don't have to use 16. I'm going to first show you 8, and then we're going to do a few at 16. And these beautiful etched lines right here and right here don't come in until you use the 16 rotations, because you can see where I did one here, came over to my reference line number 2. That would be if I had 8 rotations, but because it's 16, it's actually number 3. So what we need to know is, well, my dog's got sneezes. Goodness. we have an we have a one, A, I'm sorry, we have a B, and we have a C. Okay? It's easy. We're going to use the alphabet A, B, C. A, B, A, B, C. So we're just going to follow that. Now, this part is the part that I had to do a little practicing on because we're going to come up here and we're going to come across to the letter B, over to C, and then we're going to cross over and come back to the letter A. There is another template that does that, and I can't for the life of me remember which one it is. Okay. Mary Lou's in Cheektowaga County. Mary Lou Irish is in Cheektowaga County.
No, Chautauqua.
Oh, Chautauqua. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, you're talking to her. I'm sorry. Jean, hi from Mount Vernon, Washington. And Lydia is here from Lighton, Utah. Beautiful day. So nice to see you. Lisa's crossing over sounds challenging. You know what? I thought so too. Now, I'm going to show you how I have kind of overcome it. I'm not professing to be an expert at it just yet. So we're going to come up and hit B. And I'm going to take that one stitch in place. It's all a curve, so we want to keep our stitches small. You see that I've got my stable tape in the center here, so I'm going to move my hands up. Now, this is where it gets anxiety ridden. So if you've got a glass of wine, take a drink now before you cross over. Okay. But really, all you have to do is just keep on going. And what you're going to see is it comes across beautiful. Okay. I got a little tiny wiggle in there. It's not the end of the world and nobody's going to notice it. So now I'm going to go over to C, and I let my stitches get a little too big again here. There we go. I want to make those stitches a little smaller, and I got a wobble here too. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come back from C and come down on this side of the template. Nice and steady. Okay, that could be part of the problem. I needed to tighten up my foot. Well, not that tight, my goodness. Remember, we wanted to just kiss the top of the fabric. Okay, here we go. There we go. Very nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep what I figure was helping me is I'm looking to cross on this line. So when I'm going down here, I'm aiming for that line. So this one is not a good one, I'm sorry, but it's not. And that happens. That's why we call it practice, right? I'm going to stop right here. Now I want to go 2 reference lines. I did put my 2-inch simple circle in like I've done other times. For example, when I've done my spin effects on the pin, I like to do that because it really does help keep me where I need to be. Okay, and there we go. I think I got it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Again, we're going to come up on the left, cross over here, come to B, come back on over to the left, come over to C. Now, I'm going to show you a little trick while you're learning this, okay? And I don't think it's cheating. I think it's using the tools you've been given. Okay. Um, trying to get my itty bitty spacing gauge, and there it is. Okay, so what you can do is you can get your spacing gauge and just kind of draw it up this way. And then you're going to be able to see exactly where you need to be. Come over to B, back to C, and now we're going to cross over and come down. Wasn't that easy? Other than the fact that I didn't have my template lined up just perfectly. But it's going to get that muscle memory going. Okay, so let's go ahead and do another one. I need to get over here one stitch. Maybe 1.5. Line it up on top here. And again, from A to E. Now, using the foot is absolutely no different than using the stitching line disc. Guys, I came off of this template again. My goodness, what is going on with me tonight? Well, I did it here too. What happens is I look away. And when I look away, I come off of the template every time. Oh boy, I'm so sorry. Okay, so this is the important part where we're going to cross over. Just keep going. Okay. We're going to do this again. Next time, third time is the charm, they say. So we're going to go ahead, not touch the template. We are going to get ourselves over to the next reference line. Okay, and right there looks just about where I want it to be. Now, if you want, you can line everything up here. Take your stitching line disc, go ahead and pull it up. And you see how easy that comes? Now we're going to come over to C. And now we're going to come down onto this here so you can see what I'm doing. The key is to try and cross right here. Okay? If we cross right there, we should, and I'm going to come a little bit south of that. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with it. You see where I came? It's only about 1/8 of an inch. And quite honestly, the reason I'm okay with it is these lines are going to disappear. And nobody's going to know that we were 1/8 of an inch different than we wanted to be. Okay. So, oh. Uh-oh, what's Ken doing now, guys? Hi, Patricia, Saskatchewan, Alberta, Canada. So wonderful to have you here with us. And Alice is here from Colorado. And Patricia, too bad there's nothing any country on earth can do to control smoke from wildfires in wind direction. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But I'll tell you, Patricia, I really do feel bad for you and your countrymen because you guys are losing so much of that beautiful forest land that you have up there. I really do feel bad for you. Monica, maybe this one requires more than one glass to relax. Yeah, let's take two. Okay. Oh, Jan is here. She's going to catch up on what she missed. That's good, Jan. We're always happy to be able to replay these. So let's go ahead again. We're going to go from A to B to C and back to A. And I'm not going to push myself. I'm just going to stitch nice and easy.
Oregon.
Hmm?
Coos Bay, Oregon.
Who's that, hon?
And
I am. Ken was just mentioning their name, the name of your domicile.
Grady.
Janice in the house. I saw that. Now, what you guys are seeing is I hope you're noticing I'm not perfect on this. Okay. I'm not. It's okay. You don't have to be. In the grand scheme of things, you're probably not going to have a thread that is as high contrast as the one I'm using. And you see how that came in perfect that time. And it will not, those little bobbles will not show up at all. You will be just fine with them. And if somebody gets close enough to your quilt to see that and they happen to mention it to you, tell them to step away from your quilt. And you can't be friends anymore. I know, I wouldn't go.
Buzz off.
Or consider just tell them to buzz off. Okay, here we go. And we're going to stop right here. Line myself up again. Don't be afraid to use this tool. Come up. Okay. And then straight across. Here, we're going to come down and we're going to come across. That is the goal right there, guys. Okay. Oh, one of the dogs is determined to do something. And said he's going to give the dog a value if he doesn't settle down. Okay, that's got to be Casey. All right, and here we go. Now we're going on to B, up to C. We're going to come back to A. Monica did what? Monica, welcome. Now,
Mona.
oh, Mona did what? Not Monica. Okay. Okay, so I let myself get a little out of control here because I didn't move my hands quick enough. But you know what? You can see it made absolutely no difference. I'm going to put one more in like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up and we're going to put 16 in, which means one more rotation between each one that we've already got. Wait, we can 1, 2. What time is it? Okay. I'm sometimes never quite sure exactly at the time that we have available. Okay, so you notice I did not draw this one in, but I have muscle memory from drawing it in on the other ones. So I think we should be good to go this time. Perfect. Remember, guys, only practice is going to get you better. You can sit and look at it all day long. We can't learn through osmosis. We have to practice. And some of these spinning wheels, I'm looking forward to doing them. even though I really haven't used all that many of them. And I think this is the first time I'm using this one. Perfect. Oh, looks like a fish. Single one. So you can see it doesn't take a whole lot of practice to get better. You just need to do it. Okay, I'm going to come to the next reference line. And there we go. Perfect. Automatically lines everything up here. Remember A, B, C, A. Take your time. Keep your hands relaxed. That really does help. Okay, I'm going to move them up now because this is a long template. There we go. There's our B. Now we're going to come around to C. And then we're going to go back to A. A little tiny wobble in there, no worries. Move my hands. And back to the center circle. So we have one more. We're going to go ahead and put that in, guys. And then I'm going to show you the whole thing, all the ugly mistakes and everything. At least, there's one thing you're always going to know. If I make a mistake, I'm going to own up to it, okay?
You need to have stable tape close to those crossover points Linda has.
Here. No, it's actually pretty solid. I don't. Linda, yeah. I really don't feel the need to add in any there. You may want to, and if you do, that is absolutely fine. But like a lot of them, this gets real flimsy up here. I don't want to say flimsy because that makes it sound like an inferior product. It's not. It's just the way that they're cut because of the design. These, however, don't wiggle at all. They don't move. They're kind of like Ken is when I say, please get me some more ice cream. He unwaveringly will not do it. Okay, everybody, now say for me. Oh, okay. And off we go. Now you saw how I drew that out with the stitching line discs, and you may want to use that idea till you get a little more comfortable with the template. My suggestion, and it may not be the way you like to do things, and if it's not, that's okay. You do what makes you feel good and are able to control. But for me, it's going slow. Now, remember how many times I've said, don't push the template against the ruler or the ruler against the template. So what I want to point out is if you're doing either one of those things, when you come to an area like this where you have to cross over, and there's one other template that we have to cross over, and for the life of me, I can't remember it. But if you're pushing, when you come to this corner right here, your your foot and your needle is going to come down like this. Okay. If you're pushing either the template or the foot. Okay. So let's just keep it nice and loose. There we go. Take another drink of wine. When your significant other asks what you've been up to, you say, sewing, quilting, as you stagger into the room, right? Okay, I am now going to go to reference line number 16. I want to show you what 16 rotations looks like. And I am definitely not going to do all of them, okay? But now what you're going to notice is everything lines up beautifully. A to B. Nice around there. Okay. We do want to make a stop when we get to B and C to keep those points nice and sharp. Love the secondary design. Right here looks like a diamond. And come back down. Move my hands. I broke my own rule. I had my needle up and I didn't put it down. And right there. So you'll see secondary designs. Aren't they fun? I love secondary designs. All right, there we go. You get out of there. Not you guys. I have a dog who's going to knock a whole bunch of stuff down if I don't shush him away. He went willingly. That one can get in trouble. Yeah, he can get in trouble just by standing still in a room. He's our problem child, but we still love him. Okay, now we're going to head back to A.
Hey, Tom, I have a question. Do you reposition all spinning effects from the center?
Okay. No. Yes. And no. Yes and no. Isn't it that?
Okay.
Okay, so that's a real clear answer there. Yes and no. When I do my spin effects, this now is not a spin effects. This is a Circles on Quilts spinning wheel. So it is different than a spin effects. We do this one with the tack. Now, a good question would be, can you do it without the tack and put number A in the center? And the answer to that is yes, absolutely. You can reposition the spin effects from the center. Okay, I don't know if you have seen, I've done a lot of videos on 906 Quilting YouTube channel on doing these spin effects without using the tack. So those would be, I did all those spin effects from the center. And you please feel free to go in there and check them out and see what you find. Okay. I hope that answers your question, Kay. If not, let me know, please. Linda says lots of template opportunities on this one. Yes, there are. And Elizabeth loves this ruler. Yeah, once you get the hang of it, it's kind of fun. I just messed up really bad on
Yeah,
a
that
couple.
was, even I noticed it.
Even Ken said he even noticed that. What I was doing was I was looking at the clock, and we all know I cannot stitch and look away.
The fish has got a dent in his fin.
Mm-hmm. The fish has a dent in his fin. I'm only going to do one more here. Oh, one more stitch. There we go. Here's the dented fin. And yes, there is a ton of template opportunities on this one.
Fisher says the spinning wheel templates are an ingenious way of creating beautiful designs without the thread buildup in the center.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Patricia.
Now, Patricia, if you choose to use them without the tack, the thread will build up in the center. But yes, I love the fact that it doesn't. Especially, this one makes an 11.5-inch design. So if I've got a 12-inch block and I've got a lot of piecing on it, chances are real good the center of that 12-inch block is going to be kind of hefty on seam allowances. So these are the ones you want to use because you don't have to worry about the thread buildup. Absolutely right. Good point. Oops. So around we go. Okay. And this one has a needle channel. I love it. I love those.
Joey has a question.
Okay.
Would this be better?
Okay. Joey asks, would this be better to be done doing quilt as you go because of the repositioning and moving the template around? Joey, you don't have to do the repositioning. It's like any other spin effects or circles on quilts, waves or wheels in this case. If you can do them from all directions, then you don't have to worry about moving your quilt around as you're stitching. The reason that I do move it so often is because I want to give you the benefit of being able to see things. So, yeah, it's, and if you're uncomfortable doing it and, stitching back here, you might want to use a different template or just practice it. Take a couple quilt squares and practice it. For the sake of sounding like a broken record, I use very inexpensive fusible fleece. I use inexpensive fabric. I don't put a backing on them. Okay. So that really saves a lot of money on practice squares. Now, some of the gals, what they do is they use a wash away thread on the back. And then they go ahead and put it in the sink and the thread dissolves on the back. And then you just pull off the top thread and it just comes off slick as can be. Now, I've also known some people they would do this, and when they fill up the square, they just put another square on top, a square fabric on top of it. So, you have different ways of being able to do it. And of course, you always can pull out that paper and practice it on paper too, because that is going to help you build that muscle memory. When I first started doing free motion quilting and somebody was talking about muscle memory, I thought they landed from a different planet. But I get it now. Okay. I get it now. And if we do the same shape over and over again, it's going to become second nature. So I hope that helps, Joey, even though it was a yes and no answer.
We lost his well, I don't know, crossing over sounds challenging. Maybe you saw that.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, the crossing over is just something you need to practice and get accustomed to. You can see that even tonight, where I first started and how I was so wobbly here. And then as I went on, I got more and more confidence. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I was really nervous about doing this template with you tonight because it's not one that I've done a lot. I've practiced it a few times. I've even used it a couple of times, but it's not one that I use a lot. And when I get these new ones like this, presenting them to you, you've got to know I do get nervous. Okay. I do. Even though you're my friends and I have no reason to be nervous, I just don't want to disappoint you. So that's enough of that. Okay, so let's take a look at the next template we've got. It is another, whoops, I'm going to put this one away, guys, so I don't end up doing the same one twice. There we go.
Linda Shell says it looks great.
Thank you, Linda. You guys are just too good to me. You know that? You really are. Okay, number 2. This is spinning wheel number 2. Okay, and I had this spinning wheel in there. I'd never used it before. I was getting ready for class today, and I did it on paper several times, and then I figured out how to do it correctly. Did it on some more paper. Yeah, it was boy, I was just my brain cells were not kicking in, guys. I was trying to make this a lot more complicated than it really is. So you'll be glad I figured that out before we met here tonight. Now, if you're going to look here, what is important, and this is very important, is you have the 2-inch simple circle again. Again, I put that in. You don't need to do that. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
They're probably going from A to C if you're left-handed. Ooh, that's a good question, Kate. I am right-handed. So I don't know. I really don't know. If you could do other templates being left-handed, I think you can do this one too. I really do. Because for us coming up on the left over to the right is basically the same as going from the right to the left when you're going from C back to A. So I think you can do it. Plus, you're a good quilter. We know who you are. So my wish. Jan says her wish list is just getting bigger. I know, I know. I put a couple things on my Amazon wish list in the last couple days too. I don't think Ken's seen them yet. Hint, hint. Oh, Okay, we're going to do the same with this. We're going to go from A to B to C. Then we're going to turn our template. When our foot gets nestled in at A, we're going to do this again. So let's go ahead. I've got 16 rotations here. Do you need to do 16? No, you do not. You can do 8 if you choose. I think the 16 is beautiful. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and get, we're going to get rotation 1 put into place. Yep, that's his bed.
Give me the look,
Okay.
which is about.
And it's about time. So Ken is going to excuse himself with the dogs and he's going to get out of this hot room.
Not that bad.
It's not that bad. Oh, and off he goes with the hooligans. Okay, so here I am at A. Again, you do not have to put that 2-inch circle in there. We're going to come up to B. Again, that's a long way, so I had to stop and move my hands. And you'll see that I did put staple tape there also. Want to take a stitch here in place. Get rid of that thread there. I'm going to turn it around. We're going to come back to C. I love this sharp, the sharp shape that it has. I think it's really cool. I'm not sure what exactly it reminds me of, but it does remind me of something. Okay, so now we've got our first rotation in. We're going to turn this all the way around until we come to C, or to A again. I'm sorry. And our second rotation is going in. Take that hesitation stitch, coming back to C. Okay, what I like about doing it this way is what we have done is we have gone across. I don't want to go back here, obviously. So what I'm going to do, oh my gosh, it looks like an eye. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just turn it a quarter of a turn, a quarter of a space, and I'm going to stitch back on my circle. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and complete this rotation. So that's A to B. I'll turn it around so you can see. Oh yeah, surfboard, rocket ship on a launch pad. Patricia asked if I'm planning on stitching this with 8 rotations before doing the 16. Yes, I do like to do that. I want you to see how it looks in both ways. Okay. Let's take a look when we get to 4 rotations. We'll take another look at 8. And put that down. Whoops, wrong way, Corrigan. I love saying that because it makes Deb smile. Okay, because there really was a wrong way, Corrigan. I thought it was just a character on a TV show. What did I know? If you're there, Deb, tell the girls about Wrong Way Corrigan. I think it's very interesting. Okay, here is going to be 4 rotations, guys. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take this off so you can see it. Hey, what about that? It looks weird. I like it though. I like it for a modern quilt. I think that would be so cool. But let's go ahead and put 4 more in there, okay? Oops. There we go. Okay. Oh, you guys are funny. I love it. I love it. Okay, so now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to stitch over to A. Now, if you want to do from one reference line to another, you're not going to end up with as much stitching in the center as I am. Okay, so that is an option that you should also look at. It really does look like a surfboard. Okay, coming down to C. And we're going to stop with our needle down. Now remember, I'm moving this because I want you to have a good view. If I were just doing this, I likely would not be turning the quilt sandwich around like I am. Because I think it's real important to know how to stitch in every direction. Oh my goodness, I've never said that before, right? You guys probably get tired of hearing me say those things. But you know, they bear repeating because we may have new people who haven't heard it before. And we're going to come back to C. Make sure that needle is down. And now I'm going to stitch over here. Come back to A. I'm making kind of a mess in the middle there, but you know what? That's okay. Because when we're done, I'm going to show you how we can clean that up nicely. So I've got one more to do until we hit that 8 point or 8 rotations. And then we're going to take it off and take a look at it. Needle down, but come all the way around. There we go. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together, don't you? Good. Go from A to B. All the way to the top. And back to C. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and leave my needle down and leave it in its place here. Okay, and this is 8 rotations. Tell me what you think about that. Atomic. Ronnie, so good. Romway Corrigan was an aviator who ended up in Ireland by mistake, Deb says. Many, many years ago, and it was a long time ago. Linda loves it. Isn't that cool? Now wait till we get the other 8 on there, and you're going to absolutely fall in love with it. Even more. Okay, come around here, get my pin on. See how easy it is to take it off and put it on? That's another thing I really like. Okay, so now what we've beautiful etched lines to line up when we're doing 16 rotations. They do not line up when we do 8, just like the one we just finished, the spinning wheel one. So what we want is we want to make sure we've got ourselves on the left and on the right. And you know what? If one of them is off by a fraction of an inch, it's okay. It's really not the end of the world. You guys will be fine. Okay, so I'm going to back this all the way up to A. And now we're going to head to B. The most important thing with this whole process on these templates, you have to know ABC. I know you guys got that down pat. Okay, now I'm going to turn it and we're going to come back to C. You know, I love secondary designs. These templates give us so many design options with secondary designs. Okay, so now I can come just right across here, and that's what I'm going to do. When I can do that, I will utilize that. And the reason I'm saying that is because it's just easier, okay? I guess basically I'm a lazy person. I don't want to travel any more than I absolutely have to, okay? Gosh, I hope Ken doesn't see this. Okay, here we go. I've had him hoodwinked this whole time into thinking I'm a hardworking person. Okay, there we go. We need to come all the way back to C. And now when we turn it, we're not going to turn it the whole way because this is where we want to be next, right? So you'll see I'm on the very top of this curve or half circle right here. So now I'm going to stitch back to A. Okay, now we're going to go ABC. Simple as that. Oh goodness. I looked at the clock. When I'm stitching here at home, headphones really help to cut the distractions down. Because I really get on myself if I have stuff like this. This is a practice sandwich. I'm not going to do anything with it. However, if it was a quilt, you bet I'd be tearing that out and fixing it for sure. Okay. Now we have the one across from it. So that's easy to do. Let's do that one next. Don't forget, I'm checking these etched lines on either side to make sure that the previously stitched rotations are within tolerance. Okay. I say within tolerance because if they're off by a hair, it's okay. Totally okay. Okay, so we've got these two to do. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this around and come back to A. Now, somebody might say, seeing as we're halfway, if I had more stitching on this side than I had on this side, would it be okay to back it up and go from C to B to A? And quite honestly, I don't think it's going to hurt a thing. Okay. Here we go from A to B. Hesitate. Now remember, when you hesitate, it only needs to be one stitch, maybe two. It's kind of like that German chocolate cake. When you hesitate and go, yes, I'll have it, doesn't take long. Okay, I'm going to switch it because I'm going to the opposite side here. And two more rotations. Then I'm going to show you how we can clean this up a little bit, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm noticing that this template right here comes apart a little bit. So it kind of pushes this part over where it was lined up. It's now not. So I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been holding my thumb on the both of these on either side. And that does help to eliminate that template from going out. Now, this is one of those where don't push the template against the foot, don't push the foot against the template. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. We don't want to do it on this one. But even when we're not pushing and we're just gliding, this is a weak spot that can move. So I like to hold it like this, and then I don't lose the integrity of the rotation. And you can let it go once you get a few stitches down like this. It's good to go now. Okay. Wow, we're almost done, guys. Okay, going back to A. And come up to B. That time I was distracted by my thumb. I was looking to make sure my thumb was in place. And I'm sure that you're kind of salivating at all of the secondary designs and what we can do with them. Oh my gosh, there's tons of them in this template. That is B. If you're not exactly on this line, don't worry about it. These lines are going away. They're not going to be permanent. The stitching is going to be permanent. So that's what you have to concentrate on. Okay, we've got all of those rotations in. Go ahead. I'm going to take that out. Lift up that. Oh, hello. There we go. Beautiful, isn't it? It does. It does. Yeah. Um, okay. Patricia asks a good question. Does this template come in sets of different sizes? I wish I could say yes. Well, what I need to say is yes and no. Again, some of them you can get in different sizes, but they are not in a set. Okay. If that makes any sense. So I'm going to pull this paper out here so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is basically the same as this, but they're different sizes. If you look, the top here is wider than the top here. Number 2 and number 3 are the same, but they're different sizes. Okay, and this, and this look like they're the same on this. No, just this, and this. The same template in different sizes. But you can only buy these one at a time. Okay. Here, here. Same template, different sizes. This one and this one, I think this one is wider though. So these guys, these are all the same template, different sizes. Okay. Yeah, that's this guy and this guy. If we take a look at those, they look like they're the same template. This guy and this guy look like they're the same template, just different sizes. So that is my yes and no answer. Yes, some of the templates come in different sizes, but no, they do not come in sets. Okay. Let's see. Oh, let's see. I don't want to be there. Okay, Patricia asked that question. Does that answer it, Patricia? Even if, you kind of look at it and goes, oh, that's not an answer. Yeah, this is pretty, and I do love this thread buildup, but we're not done yet. Okay, I'm going to take the tack out because if I don't, it will end up in my hand somewhere. or I will drop it and it will end up in my foot. I prefer not to have it in either of those places. Okay, good, Patricia. I'm glad that that explained your inquiry. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to do just a little free motion stuff. I am going to follow this line around. Now, if you have one of those big, modern, cool sewing machines that I don't have out here, you could come around here like this with a small zigzag. And what that's going to do is that's going to fill in these little holes of color that we made, or holes with lack of thread, I should say. But even just going around it once or twice, and you don't have to be an expert free motioner to do this. You'll see I'm just taking a few stitches at a time and then I'm turning it. And that literally is all it takes. I think I'm going to go around twice because I really want that center to pop, because it's going to draw people's eyes in, but then when they start seeing this, it's going to come back out. Okay. Just take your time. It's best to do it when you're not in a hurry. There we go. And that looks good enough for the guys we hang out with, right? Okay, so here's just cleaning that up a little bit. Red on the back. It's just what I had in common. Okay, so there you go. And this waviness will come out when we iron it. Now, when we iron it, we're not ironing, we're pressing it. Okay. What I'm going to suggest, I have always been a steam iron girl. Always had steam on my iron until I was pressing some antique linens a few weeks ago. Maybe it was even more than that ago. And my iron decided to start spitting iron deposits out onto my antique linen. And at that point, I made a conscious decision. I will not use steam in my irons, but I will have a misting bottle with water in it, and then I can mist the item I'm working on. And sometimes I want to use a pressing cloth, other times I don't, but I always want to use my wool mat under that because the heat comes back up on it. So it's entirely up to you. But when we press this little poofy thing in the center is going to disappear. All of this waviness is going to disappear. Okay. All right. Now, Rita, if you do a crosshatch in the center with camouflage circle, yep, you're absolutely right, Rita. Good point. Good point. I did not think of that. I appreciate that very much. Jan says, I have an older printed catalog that states these circles on Quilts Spinning Wheels can be bought as a 4-piece set. Oh, it includes the 5 and a half, 7.5, 9.5. Okay, let me come over here. Whoops. Spinning wheel. I'm going to take a look here because I may be learning something new tonight, which is always a good thing. Okay, spinning wheels. I'm looking, guys. Oh my goodness, is that internet slow? Okay, I'm not seeing them. Yeah, I'm not seeing them as a set. Yeah. Let's keep looking. Oh, we got some fun ones we're gonna do. Yeah. I'm sorry, Jan. I do not see them as a set. So it may be something that they did have that they have eliminated now. Okay, Maureen says, and I like her idea, possibly if sunflower, if you add more petals a little further out between that, what is stitched already. You're absolutely right, Maureen, that would, and it would be absolutely gorgeous. Okay, now, Linda says the number 27 comes in 4 sizes, but most are just single size. Yes, Linda, you are absolutely right. Okay, use wheel, not wheels when you search. I learned that earlier too. Oh my gosh, what a great night I feel that we've had. I hope you've enjoyed it too and feel the same way, that it was fun and informative. Okay, that's what I'm here for. Okay, okay. So, tomorrow morning, if you're going to be here with me, I am at 8 o'clock Central Time, 7 o'clock Mountain Time, 6 o'clock Pacific Time, and 9 a.m. Eastern Time. We are going to be getting together and we are going to be doing Spin and Echo 14, 16, and 17. The reason that I chose those 3 is because they're very similar. They're just like different sizes and stuff. So that's what we're going to do. And as far as next week is concerned, okay, that is, you guys on Monday night get to know next week. And on Tuesday evening, Quit with Kathy, we're going to do Spinning Wheels 3 and 4. And on the 13th, we're going to do Spin and Echo 11, 12, and 13. So we've got some things to look forward to. And I think that is pretty much all that I've got for today. You guys are so welcome. And I want to let you know that I truly appreciate you spending part of your day with me. It means a lot to me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. You know how that goes. If there's a template you want, what I like to tell you is go to your local quilt shop. If they don't have it in stock, they can get it for you. And if they can't, you can always get a hold of me and I can have it drop shipped to you. So we have that option available, okay? So again, thank you. Thank you for spending your time, and we will see you in the morning. Put the coffee on early, Kathy says. Absolutely early. And until we meet again, let's quilt.